I have to ask the question to you. Do you think the Lions have the overall pieces or the overall team to win in 2022? Do you think they can win?
Win what? Super Bowl?
Just win. I'm not saying I'm not saying win the Super Bowl. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid that heavy.
I just got to clarify.
I'm just saying like win.
Yeah. Be respectable.
No, I get it.
Be respectable. Compete. Win a couple games they maybe shouldn't win. I feel like we've been hand in hand on this where I think so. I've thought so forever. I always think so. I thought last year, if you would have told me that when they start off 0-9 or something, if you would have told me that was the start, I would have been like, no chance. They're going to win a couple games halfway through the season. Nope, wrong, dude. They were the worst. I think so. It's a good analogy that they're a long shot because I don't think anybody expects them to blow anyone away out of the gates. But like we've said, if the offensive line is as good as they should be, and you can run the ball, and Jared Goff can do what he does best, which is play action, hang out with all the time in the world, and throw it 8 yards to T.J. Hawkinson or Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think I would guess they'd be able to win some games. The division isn't super strong. The schedule as a whole isn't very strong. I think so. I don't know. It's the Detroit Lions. I don't know.
I get the, how should I say this, cautious optimism. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm feeling from you. That's the vibe I'm getting is cautious optimism. I get it. You're like, I really want to believe, but I know how this game works. I've been down this road before. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But here's the thing. I'm going to step a little bit further out here, and I think the Lions can win because perfect example you just talked about. You take a look at the division this year. Both the Bears and the Vikings fired their head coaches and their GMs. So they're in essence in rebuild. I don't give a hoot and handy what Vikings fans say. When you fire your GM and your head coach, it's a rebuild. Don't call it a retool. We tried that for so many years with the Lions. We know what it is. It's a rebuild. It's not a retool. Mm-hmm. So you got the Vikings and Bears in rebuilds. Now you got the Packers. Here's the thing about the Packers. If anything, they stood pat this offseason. They shipped Devontae Adams out of town. So they've got nobody really on that wide receiver core that's going to really do anything that's going to threaten people. For crying out loud, we just saw a list that came out a couple of days ago with the Packers having one of the bottom 5 worst wide receiver cores, and you got Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. That does not instill a lot of confidence, in my opinion, especially when your options at wide receiver are a geriatric Randall Cobb, a broken grandpa in Sammy Watkins, and 2 inexperienced wide receivers in Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. That does not threaten anybody. The thing that threatens people for the Packers is their defense. Their defense is stacked top to bottom. But in my mind, it's okay. The division, as you said, it's weaker. Nobody's going to be feeling too very threatened inside of the division. It's okay. The division is now up for grabs. It's not a clear number 1 shot that the Packers are the favorites. They still have the hold of the division until somebody proves otherwise. But it's not, the Packers are going to win the division hands down. Nobody's going to contest with them this year. That's not the case anymore. Then you take, like you said, a look at the schedule. The Lions have one of the weakest schedules in the entire NFL. Like, it's just drastically bad. The Lions are playing against the likes of the Giants, the Jets, the Jaguars. They're playing against a bunch of scrub teams that are further along they're further behind in their rebuilds than where we're at. So listen, I think that based upon what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have done, drafting as well as they have over the last 2 years, getting the likes of Penei Sewell, Aleem McNeil, Amon-Ra St. Brown, now getting Aiden Hutchinson, Jamison Williams, Josh Pascal. You're getting all of these high motor, high work ethic, very leading guys on this squad. I think that they have the pieces to win. Now, before I go full dive into the Kool-Aid here, I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl. But could the Lions very well win 8, 9, 10 games? I think that's doable. I'm not going to say that they're going to freaking win 12, 13 games. The most I'd ever give them is 11. But I think 8, 9, 10 games, that's not that far out of the possibility for the Lions based upon schedule and based upon the improvements that they've made. But like you said, it's going to depend on a couple of factors. We definitely need to stay healthy. The injury bug cannot bite us this year like it did last year. We were just having guys drop left and right. We have to stay healthy, number 1. Number 2, that offensive line has got to perform to its top 5 billing that it's already got. If it can do that, the offense is going to score points, and we're going to be in a lot better position to win. And the defense, it's got to step up from like its bottom of the pack mindset that it was last year and at least be an average defense at best. If all those can happen, I think the Lions can definitely have an 8, 9, 10 win season. And I think if they have that many wins, there's a chance they could do a backdoor sneak into the playoffs. Whether or not they'll win a playoff game is another thing entirely. But I think the Lions have the pieces. They just have to, as they say, okay, we've given you what you need. Go prove
I agree.
it.
And what scares me about that is I think that 8, 9, 10 wins, like you just said, all that stuff that needs to happen. Injuries can't be too bad. Offensive line needs to be like fulfill their potential to the maximum. DeAndre Swift needs to be good. Hawkinson needs to be good. Jared Goff needs to find what he had in Los Angeles. Like the defense needs to get 10 spots better at least. All of these things need to happen to win 8 or 9 games. And it's like, listen, I want to be the positive vibes guy. I enjoy being positive vibes guy. I enjoy having hope. I enjoy when everyone else is like, this stinks. You, whatever. I like being like, oh, you got it all wrong. It'll be, if we don't have faith, what do we have? I love that. I've just gotten so jaded to it where it's, yeah, we could win 8 or 9 games, but then I'm like, all right, maybe that Justin Tucker Ravens game happens again. There goes a win. Maybe Jared Goff gets hurt. There goes a couple wins.
Please do not
Maybe
bring that back up.
gets hurt. That hurts the offensive line. Like, people are going to get hurt. As much as I hate to say it, because I saw a Dan Campbell quote about it today, like the same old Lions thing, as much as I hate to say it, they're probably going to lose a game like that Ravens game where everybody on Sunday at 4:30 p.m., everybody is just staring at a wall in their basement. What are we doing here? Why do I do this? Why do I torture myself? They'll probably lose one of those games. The offensive line will probably have a few games where Jared Goff runs for his life. I don't even know. I've come to expect, I've come to be positive, and then each year it's like a little bit of me gets chipped away where more and more I'm like, yeah, but they probably won't win 8 games because they're the Detroit Lions and they can never do one thing that's what we had all hoped it would be. I don't know. Hate to bring the vibes down.
We'll have to wait and see, honestly. I get, again, I've talked to people who are much more negative than you by far. And it's, listen, I get the negativity. I get the Debbie Downer mindset. But it's, listen, as you said, if we don't have faith, what do we have? And the answer is nothing. At that point, you're just being miserable for misery's sake. And it's nobody likes that kind of company. It's like, shoot, go away. So for me, it's like, I get it, but have a little faith, have a little confidence that Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Aaron Glenn, they know what they're doing. Because so far, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they've made all the right moves.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a